Okay, so today we are starting with our first practical of the highway engineering. You might be known, or else I will tell. In Google, go for virtual lab. Okay. Just search virtual lab. In that, you will get the various fields. There is electronics, mechanical, electrical, computer. Just select our civil engineering. Then, in that, the various subjects are there which are there for civil engineering, like structural dynamics, soil, fluid, strength of materials, survey, etc. In that below, if you go, there is a transportation engineering lab. Okay, this transportation engineering lab. Just click for that, and you get the transportation engineering lab. In that, list of experiments. Okay, so these are the practicals that we are going to perform. These are the practicals that we are going to perform in our highway engineering subject. In that first one practically is the crushing value of aggregate. Second one is the impact test on aggregate. Third one is the Los Angeles abrasion test on aggregate. Fourth one is the ductility test on bitumen. The fifth is softening point test on bitumen. Sixth one is the penetration test on the bitumen. Seventh is specific gravity test on bitumen. And eighth one is the California bearing ratio, that is CBR test on the soil. Okay, so these practical we are going to perform, or we are going to see in this subject. These practicals are very important, as you can refer the all the GATE, IES, or any competitive exam papers. You see, there is always they will ask the MCQ on this practical, that the crushing value test of aggregate is performed for what. Okay, we should know the objective or the outcome of the each and every practical. Okay, if you go for the crushing value of aggregate, then we will find the compaction strength. Okay, compressive strength of the aggregate. For impact test on aggregate, we will find the toughness of that aggregate. If we go for the Los Angeles abrasion test, we will find the hardness of that aggregate. Okay. Likewise, there will be the MCQ in the GATE, IES, or any competitive MPSC, etc. exams. Okay. There is always MCQ will ask on this, and many number of times the match the peer. Likewise, the MCQ is asked for in column A, the tests are given. In column B, its results are given. Okay. Likewise, there will be the match the pair options. Likewise, in column A, first is crushing test, second is impact test, third is Los Angeles. And in column B, like to finding toughness, to find the hardness, to find the abrasion value, to find the toughness value. Okay. Likewise, option will be there, and you just have to match the pair. Likewise, option question might be asked. So we will see one by one. The first test or the first experiment of our subject is the crushing value of aggregate. Okay. The aim of this experiment is to assess the strength of the concrete aggregate used in the pavement component under the gradually applied load, and to determine the aggregate crushing value of the given sample of aggregate. Okay, so this is our aim. We have to find what the strength of aggregate. And generally, compressive strength of aggregate is found in this experiment. And for why we are going to find this strength, to determine whether the aggregate is suitable for the pavement. Okay, and this is calculated by using the crushing value. In this experiment, we will going to find the crushing value. On the basis of that crushing value, we will decide whether this aggregate is suitable for the pavement component, whether it is suitable for the surface course or we have to go for the sub course. Okay. Likewise, the aggregate value will find out in this experiment. Then we will see the theory regarding this experiment. Before we start the experiment, we will see some theoretical part. That is the different rock sample have their different composite strength. Okay, and we are taking the aggregate from the rocks only. But whatever the strength that rock have, it is not that the aggregate also that strength will have. Okay, whatever the strength of rock will be there, it is not like that the aggregate will also possess that strength. Okay, that might be a different strength for the rock, parent rock of that aggregate. That might be possible to have the different composite strength of that aggregate. Okay, the aggregate made from which rock, the strength of that rock might be different and aggregate strength might be different. Okay, so for this we have to find out the compressive strength of the aggregate. For this compressive strength of aggregate, generally this cylinder we will use. Please see this figure. This type of cylinder we will use in this to find the compressive strength of aggregate. And for the most suitable aggregate, we should not go for crushing value beyond 30%. Okay. For the different categories of road, there are different values of crushing. Okay. So the table is also given below. We'll see that also. So this is the aggregate crushing load apparatus. We have to take the cylinder. We have to put the this cylinder into the compression testing machine, and then we have to just apply the gradual compressing load, and we will find out the crushing strength of the aggregates. Okay. The aggregate crushing value provides the relative measure of the resistance to crushing under the gradually applied compressive load. Okay, if we are going to apply the gradual load, and the gradual compressive load we are going to apply on the aggregate, and how the aggregate will provide the resistance to that applying load. Okay, that we will find by using the calculating the crushing value. The principal mechanical property of aggregate to required in the construction is satisfactory resistance to the crushing under the roller during the construction, adequate resistance to the surface abrasion under traffic. Okay, so these are the two prior requirements of the aggregate, that he should satisfactorily give the resistance to the crushing under the roller during the construction. Okay, during the construction, what we do for the compaction, we apply the roller on the surface of the aggregate. Okay, so the aggregate should bear that load of the roller. It should not get crushed due to the load of the roller. Also, it should not get abrasion in the condition of traffic. Okay, so that properties that aggregate should possess. The aggregate which is used in the road construction should have be strong enough to resist the crushing under the traffic wheel load. Okay, it should give the maximum strength, and it should give the good resistance against the traffic wheel load. If the aggregate are weak, the stability of the pavement structure is adversely affected. If there is a crushing of that aggregate, if the load carrying capacity or the strength of the aggregate is not good, then what will happen? The pavement will get affected. Okay, it might be get failed. So the strong aggregate will have the low crushing value, and weak aggregate have the high crushing value. This is very important sentence. Okay, if the crushing value is high, then what it will indicates? The crushing strength is low. And if the crushing value is low, then we will say that the aggregate will have more compressive strength. Okay, so these are the inversely proportional values. You should know these values. This might be asked into the MCQ. So you should know the, I will underline this sentence. The strong aggregate will have low crushing value and weak aggregates will have high crushing value. This is very important sentence. Okay. There might be MCQ on this sentence also. The aggregate will have less crushing value if it is strong. And if the aggregate is weak, it will have high crushing value. Okay. So the aggregate crushing strength for the various type of surface pavement should be high enough to withstand the high wheel load, including the steel tire loaded bullock carts. However, the low strength aggregate having the lesser crushing strength are used in the base and the sub-base course of the pavement. Okay. If the aggregate will have the high crushing value, that means the aggregate is weak. Okay. And such type of aggregate is generally used in the base course or the sub-base course of the pavement. Okay. And IRC has specified that aggregate crushing value of the coarse aggregate used for concrete, cement concrete surface should not exceed 30%, and for the aggregates used for the concrete other than surface, the aggregate crushing value should not exceed 45%. These are very important values. Many number of times these values are asked in the MCQ for the various exams. Okay, for surface layer of the concrete road, concrete, cement concrete surface layer, the crushing value should not exceed 30%. For the aggregate used for the concrete other than the surface course, that value should not exceed the 45%. Okay, and also the table which is given by the IRC is given below. Okay, by the end of this practical, what we will find? We will find the crushing values. Okay, by the formula, we will have one formula for finding out the crushing value. By that formula, we will find the crushing value of the aggregate. By that crushing value, we will decide whether that material is suitable for pavement. Okay, or else that we have to use for the base course or the sub base course. According to that, the IRC has decided the crushing limits for the various pavement surfaces, and that table is given here. Everyone please write down this table. This is very important as MCQ point of view. Everyone please write down this table. Type of road or pavement, and in right column aggregate crushing value limit. Make two columns. In that first, for the flexible pavement, make two columns. First column is types of road or the pavement, and second column is aggregate crushing value limits. In that, give the heading flexible pavement. For flexible pavement, in the first column, soling. For soling course, aggregate crushing value should limit up to 50%. For soling, aggregate crushing value limit should be up to 50%. For waterborne macadam, WBM road, for WBM road, aggregate crushing value limit, aggregate crushing value limit is 40%. For bituminous macadam, aggregate crushing value limit is 40%. Everyone must try this table. It is very important as an MCQ point of view. For bituminous surface dressing or thin premix carpet 30%, or dense mixed carpet 30% should be the maximum or limiting aggregate crushing value. This is for flexible pavement. Okay, make next heading as the rigid pavement. Make next heading as rigid pavement. The rigid pavement in the first column, write down other than the wearing course, value is 45. For surface or wearing course, it is 30. Okay. If there is a concrete road or surface course, that value should not exceed 30. For the course other than the surface course, value should not increase beyond 45%. Okay, so these are the values, that is aggregate crushing value limits given by the IRC in IS 2386-1963 part 4. If you want that, you should also write this IS 2386 part 4 1963. Okay, so this table is very important because on the basis of this table we will decide whether that materials is suitable for that road or not. Okay, we will see the next point, next term in this. This we have seen the overview of this first experiment. We will have short pre-test on this experiment. Please see here the pre-test of this experiment. The maximum aggregate crushing value permitted for the bituminous macadam is. Is anyone know the answer? Just now only we have written into table. If you know, please text in chat box. You can text your answer in chat box. For question number 1, what will be the answer? Just now only you have written in the table. Yes, someone has given an answer, 3-4 persons. Option B, 40%. Okay, we will see now. We'll take as option B 40%. We will have the answer at last. We will see whether our answers are correct or not. All have given the answer as B 40%. Okay, we'll move forward for the next question number 2. In how many layers aggregates are filled in the and compacted? Okay, in the cylinder we have to fill the aggregate in the layers and we have to compact. Do you know, anyone knows in how much layers generally we fill the aggregates? Yes. Many have, many, not a many, all of has given the answer as B in 3 layers. Okay, we will see. We will take answer B. We will move forward for next question. Question number 3 is, the aggregate is called high strength aggregate if the aggregate crushing value is high, whether it is true or false. If the aggregate is called high strength aggregate if the aggregate crushing value is high, whether it is true or false. One has given answer as false. 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5-6% has given answer as false. Okay, we'll tick so on B. We will see the answer. Okay, all of have given the answer as B. We will see. The next question is, number of blows given for each layer is option A 60 C numbers, Option B 25 number, 70 and 35. Okay, 2, 3, 4 person has given answer as B, 5, 6. Okay, 6, 7, 8. All the persons has given the answer as B. Okay, very good. 25 numbers. We'll go with the majority, not a majority. All have given same answer. And the last question is the aggregate crushing value of 10% indicates whether it is exceptionally strong, moderate, weak, or none of this. As we know, the aggregate value, crushing value will be less, aggregate will have high strength. If the value is 10%, it indicates, can anyone suggest? Let it be wrong, let it be right. Just try, you will see whether we are right or wrong. 1, 2, 3 has given our answer as A. Okay. Strong. Okay. As the strength of aggregate is inversely proportional to the crushing value, if the crushing value is less, aggregate will have high strength. Okay. So we will go for with the majority as option A. We will now see our answers. Submit the quiz. 5 out of 5. Very good. The all answers are correct. Means you are listening very carefully. It is very good. So our all answers are correct. The maximum aggregate crushing value is permitted for the bituminous 40%. Bituminous macadam for bituminous macadam. Then we will compact the aggregate in 3 layers in the cylinder. We will see now practical. The aggregate is called as high strength when the aggregate crushing value is less. So it is given as high, so it will be false. The number of blows given in each layer is 25. Very good. The aggregate crushing value of 10% indicates exceptionally strong aggregate. Very good. All answers are correct. Okay, we will move forward for next step as the procedure. They have given nicely all the steps what we have to do in the procedure, but I will tell simultaneously while performing the practical. I will describe the procedure simultaneously while I am dictating the practical. Okay, simultaneously. So we will directly move forward for the practical, and stepwise I will explain there all the procedure. Okay, instead of reading only. At that step, I will explain what to do. Okay, so we will start our practical number 1. The objective of this our practical first is to assess the strength of force aggregate used in the pavement components under the gradually applied load, and to determine the aggregate's crushing value of the given site. Okay, here the main word. Okay, what on which word we have to focus? So there are 2 words. First one is we are finding here the strength in the crushing stress. It is very important to know that the main first word is we are finding the strength, and second main word is we are here applying the gradual load. Okay, here we are applying the gradual loading. These are the 2 main words in the crushing test. Okay, focusing words we can say. These are 2 focusing words. So in this experiment, we use or we require the apparatus as crushing machine, tamping rod, trowel, weighing balance, cylindrical mold, plunger, etc. Okay. So this is our apparatus. This one is the crushing machine, and on the table there is a weighing gauge, cylinder, tamping rod is there. Okay. Trowel is there. Okay. Now directly we'll start our practical. So first step number 1 is take the coarse aggregate in the pan and measure it to 3500 gram. Okay, just we have to do what? We have to take the pan and we have to measure the aggregate as 3500 gram using the weighing bar. I will start the weighing gauge. I will put the pan on the weighing gauge, tear it. Why to go for tear? Okay, to make zero reading. Okay, to make zero reading, we should go for the tear. After the tear, we will get here 0. Over the aggregate, generally we take the aggregate as 3500 gram for the experiment. 3500 grams aggregates are taken for experiment. Then in the next step, this is very important, which sieves that we are going to use to perform this practical. Okay, this is very important. In this practical, we are using 3 sieves. First one is 12.5 mm sieve, second is 10 mm sieve, and third is 2.36 mm sieve. That will required at the last. Okay, so these 3 sieves we required to perform this practical. This is very important. That they might be asked which sieves that we are using in this practical. First, put the sieve 10 mm on the pan, then 12.5 mm, that is serially on. Then pour the aggregate in that. Okay, and just close it. Then move forward for the next step. What we have done, just simply taken, we have taken here 2 sieves, that is 10 mm and 12.5 mm. This is very important. Which sieves we are going to use in the crushing test? 12.5 mm sieve and 10 mm sieve. Okay, and after that, at the end, at last we require 2.36 mm sieve. I will tell there. Okay, how to use that sieve. Okay, we have just what we have done. We have arranged the sieves into ascending or descending order. First, we have to take the pan. Then we have to put the 10 mm sieve on that, and on that we have to put the 12.5 mm sieve. And in the 12.5 mm sieve, we are placed our aggregates and just close it. After that, what we have to do? We have to go for shaking. You can shake it by manually by hands, or you can go for the shake table. If you have the shake table, put the sieves on shake tables. Just tie the hoods so that it will not get anywhere. Okay, I will start and see here. It will start the shaking. After the shaking of aggregate, just untie the hooks, remove the sieves, remove the pan, 12.5 mm sieve and 10 mm sieve. Okay, this is very important. Now, see here, what we have done, we have put our aggregate in 12.5 mm sieve, and below that we have put 10 mm sieve, and below that we have put pan. And after that, we just what we have done, we have go for shaking. After shaking, we have to collect the aggregate which is retained on 10 mm sieve. This is very important word. Okay, which aggregate we are using here? Please listen carefully. Which aggregate we are using here? The aggregate which is passing through 12.5 mm sieve and which is retained on 10 mm sieve. That might be asked into the MCQ. Okay, the aggregate which is passing through 12.5 mm sieve and which is retained on 10 mm sieve. This is very important. Okay, so that we have taken here aggregate on 10 mm sieve. Because the aggregate on 10 mm sieve, which aggregate is here? The aggregate which is passed by the 12.5 mm sieve and which is retained on 10 mm sieve. Okay, that aggregate we will take for the experiment. Now take this aggregate into the pan. Then in the next step, okay, so this is first part. Okay, the first part of test is completed. Our first part of the test is completed. Okay, in the first part, what we have done, just we have simply taken the aggregate, we have just measured its weight. After that, we have taken two sieves, 10 mm sieve and 12.5 mm sieve. After that, we have placed in the ascending order, first pan, then 10 mm sieve, then on that 12.5 mm sieve. Whatever aggregate that we have weighted, that aggregate poured into the 12.5 mm sieve. Okay, and after that, these sieves were taken for shaking. You can go for the manual shaking, and if you have the shake table, just put that sieves in the shake table, go for the shaking, and take the aggregate which is passing through 12.5 mm sieve and retained on the 10 mm sieve. Okay, so that we have taken the aggregate which is retained on the 10 mm sieve into the pan. Okay, this is our first part of the practical. Now we will go for the second part of our practical. Take the empty weight of the cylinder. Okay, here we are using the cylinder for taking the compressive strength of the aggregate. First step is to take the weight of that cylinder. Okay, and please note down that weight. I will start the weighing gauge. After starting that, go for tear. After tear, it will give the zero reading. Okay, put the cylinder on the weighing gauge and just note down the reading. That reading will be our W1. Is note that W1 is the weight of empty cylinder. Okay, W1 is the weight of empty cylinder. Everyone, please write the observations. You can write the observations. What we have to find first? First one is weight of empty cylinder. First one is the weight of empty cylinder is equal to W1. W1. Okay. Now what we have taken? Weight of empty cylinder. Then what we have to done now? Note down the weight of empty cylinder. Then fill the cylinder with the aggregate retained on the 10 mm sieve in the 3 layer. Okay. Here it is very important. We have to take that aggregate which is retained on 10 mm sieve. Take that aggregate and pour it into the cylinder, and it should be filled into the 3 layers. And here, see here, they have asked one question here. Aggregate used here is retained in the sieve. Aggregate used here is retained in the sieve. In which sieve aggregate is retained? What? Which aggregate we have used? They have the given options as 12.5, 10 mm, pan, 1.75 mm.
12.5.
10 mm. Okay, very good. The aggregate which is retained on 10 mm. Let me see whether our answer is correct. If I press OK, you are right. Okay, so our answer is correct. The aggregate which is retained on 10 mm sieve that we are going to use for our experiment. Now, fill this cylinder into the 3 layer, and each layer should be tamped by the 25 blows or 25 strokes. Okay, for each layer, 25 strokes we have to go for. So see here, I will just pour the first layer. Here they have given the note. Each layer is subjected to 25 strokes using the tamping rod. Okay, 25 blows by using tamping rod. Go for tamping. I have completed first layer, and I will go for second layer. Go for tamping. Last third year. Go for time. Okay, and after that, we have to we have to go for the plane the surface. Okay, because at the top surface there might not be the plane surface. Okay, so for the top surface we have to go for the like this. See here, what just we have done? We have plane the top surface. We have done to plane the top surface. The tamping is done to obtain the better compaction between the aggregate. Say whether it is true or false. Tamping is done to obtain the better compaction between aggregate, whether it is true or false. Can anyone tell?
True.
True. Okay, we'll see. If I answer true, yes, you are right. Our answer is right. It is true. Okay, we will move forward. Now, note down the reading number 2 or observation number 2. First observation, what we have taken? The weight of empty cylinder, W1. Now go for the second observation, number 2. Write down everyone. Weight of cylinder with the aggregate. Okay, in first W1, what we have done? Weight of empty cylinder. Okay, but now we will take the weight of cylinder with the aggregates, that is W2. Write down this sentence. Weight of cylinder with the aggregate W2 is equal to. Okay, now we will on the machine, tear it for 0. Just place the cylinder on that. See, 3343 grams. What is the W2? Everyone must note this. W2 is equal to 3343 grams. Okay. So after that, take this cylinder, just put the plunger on that. Why to place the plunger? I will tell now. While performing the practical, you will see why to use this plunger on the top of cylinder. Okay. See, this is the compaction testing machine or the compressive machine. Okay. We have to put our cylinder on in that machine. Okay. Suppose without using the plunger, we have just only placed the cylinder into this machine. Okay. See here, we will place the cylinder. Adjust the machine to touch the cylinder and plunger in the proper position. Okay. Okay. Suppose I have not used the plunger and I am going for loading. Okay. The all load which is applied will be on the cylinder only. Okay. If I will not use the plunger, whatever load I will going to apply, that all load will be applied on the cylinder. But if I will place the plunger on the aggregate and then I will apply the load, then what will happen? The load will be transferred by the plunger to the aggregates. Okay, so that we are using the plunger. Then what we have to do? We have to just move, just touch the compaction machine to the plunger. Okay, and then we have to start the machine. And it is very important. Note. Please, everyone take a note. Write this note. It is very important point. Everyone must write this point. 40 tons of load is applied to plunger at a uniform rate of 4 tons per minute. Please, everyone write this note. Note, 40 tons of load is applied to plunger at uniform rate of 4 tons per minute. Okay, how much load that we have to apply? 40 tons, and we have to go for uniformly loaded. Okay, uniform load we have to apply, and this uniform rate of loading is how much? 4 tons per minute. Okay, we have to apply the uniform loading rate as 4 tons per minute up to 40 tons. Okay. Gradually, we have to increase the load by the 4 tons per minute, 4 tons per minute, 4 tons per minute. Gradually, uniformly, we have to increase the load up to 40 tons per minute. Sorry, up to 40 tons. Okay. So, this is very important note. And we are applying the load on the plunger, and plunger will transfer this load to the aggregates. Okay. Ultimately, we are applying load on aggregates. Now we will start the machine. On the machine, see here, it is showing the gradual reading. When it will reach to 40 tons, when it will reach to 40 tons, I simply off the machine. Okay, even it machine reaches to 40 tons, just simply off the machine. Then go for the next step. Switch. This is the hydraulic loading. Okay, whenever you are owning, whenever you are applying the load, you just have to start the hydraulic loading. At the hydraulic loading, hydraulic oil will go to the load whenever you start the machine. And when you release this load, the hydraulic oil come back to the machine. Okay, this machine will works on the hydraulic load applications. Hydraulic loading will be there. Then remove the plunger or the cylinder. Remove the cylinder. Then remove the plunger from the cylinder. Remove the plunger. Then take this aggregate into 2.36 mm sieve. See here, this is very important. Okay, which sieve we are using here? 2.36 mm sieve as per the IS. Put this 2.36 mm sieve on the pan. Then place the material on 2.36 mm. Then place this sieves on the shaking table, sieve shaker. Then type the hooks and just start the machine. It will shake the sieves. See here like this. Okay. So go for the next step. Untie the hooks. Remove the sieves. Okay. So see, after the sieving by 2.36 mm sieve, whatever the material retained in the pan or passed through the 2.36 mm sieve, that material we have to take. Okay, which material we are now weighing? We just have to take the weight of that material which is passed from the 2.36 mm sieve and retained on the pan. Okay, we have to take the weight of that material. On the machine, here it, take the weight of that material. So this is observation number 3. Everyone please write down observation number 3. Weight of aggregate passing through 2.36 mm sieve, passing through 2.36 mm sieve in bracket W3 is equal to 986 grams. Everyone note the readings. 986 grams. So this is our observation table. Everyone please see there. This is our observation table. W1, what is W1? Weight of empty cylinder. What is W1? Weight of empty cylinder. Then W2. What is W2? Weight of cylinder with the aggregates. Then W3, weight of the aggregate passing through, weight of the aggregate passing through 2.36 mm². That is W3. Everyone write this reading. Everyone should write this reading, W3. So we have all these three values, W1, W2, and W3. So formula for finding out the crushing strength is, aggregate crushing value is equal to aggregate crushing value in bracket percentage. We are finding this value in percentage is equal to, here they have given the formula, W3 divided by W2, W3 divided by W2 minus W1. Okay. Find out these values and text in the chat box how much it will come. Everyone, please calculate the answer and text into the chat box. Let me know the answer. Okay, two numbers, two persons has given the answer. Anyone else? Everyone, please solve this. Okay, we will go for majority. 3, 4, 5 has answered. Majority 38.509 answer is given. Okay, we will see. We'll check the answer. Three 8.509. Okay, correct. 38.509. This answer is correct. Our first observation reading is the aggregate value is 38.509. Our answer is correct. Now let's move forward. We will take another reading. Okay, we will take another one reading. Okay, I will repeat. Trial 2. We will have another one reading. So what we do in the first phase, we have taken the aggregate which is passing through the 12.5 mmcu and retained on the 10 mmcu. Okay. After that, what we have to do? Just we have to calculate the empty weight of the cylinder when it is empty. Okay. That we taken as W1. Okay. That up to that part it will be same. Find out weight of the empty cylinder. Up to that step, it will be same procedure. Okay. After that, now we'll take the trial 2. We'll take the aggregate and we'll compact into the 3 layers. See here, they have asked the question. Each layer is subjected to dash dash strokes. Now only we have discussed that. We are going for 25 strokes. Okay, you are right. Just fill 1/3 portion first. First 1/3 portion, then tamp it by giving the 25 strokes. Then second 1/3 portion, go for the tamping by applying the 25 number of blows. Then go for the last layer, last 1/3 layer, and go for tamping. Then go for the plane surface, do the plane upper layer, upper surface. The cylinder is filled with the aggregates in dash dash layers. We are going for 3 layers. Okay, you are right. Now, what we have to do? The second observation as W2. On the weighing gauge, tear it to bring it to 0. Then place the cylinder on that. Then see here, we will have the second observation as W2. W1 will not change, okay, because that weight is of empty cylinder. W2 will be slightly different, okay, because the compaction rate might be a change. Okay, so W2 might give the different reading. So note down the second reading as weight of the cylinder with the aggregates, that is W2 is equal to 3438 grams. After that, place cylinder, put the plunger on that. That upper part is known as plunger. Then place this cylinder into the compression testing machine. Adjust the machine to touch the cylinder and plunger in the proper position. Okay, we should not go for the direct applying load. First, what we have to do, we have to adjust the machine such that it will just touch to the plunger. Okay, we should not go for direct loading. First, what we have to do, we have to adjust the machine which will just touch to the plunger. When it will just touch to the plunger, then apply the hydraulic loading. And after that, we will take the load. We will just touch the machine to the plunger. Okay, here we have just touched the plunger. See here, they have asked one question. Load applied to the plunger at a uniform rate of 4 tons per minute is. How much load we will going for apply? Can anyone answer? How much load we will apply on the aggregate? Uniform loading. Can anyone tell? Just we have seen that we are gradually applying the 4 tons per minute up to how much load? Can anyone answer? How much load we will apply?
सर ऑप्शन्स दाखवा की.
Options, okay. 80 tons, 40 tons, 20 tons, and 50 tons. We should know the direct value. Now only I have told that.
40.
40, very good. Yes, you are right. 40 tons, we are go up to the 40 tons. Now what we have to do? We have to apply the hydraulic loading. Okay, I will start the hydraulic loading. I will start the machine. Okay, gradually apply the load. When it reach to the 40 tons, I will stop the machine. Okay, when it touch the 40 tons, I will stop the machine. Then I will release the hydraulic load. Then release the hydraulic load. Then release the machine so that we can easily take out the cylinder. Take the cylinder out of the machine. Then identify the apparatus placed on the top of the mold. Okay. On top of the mold, what it is called?
Plunger.
Plunger. Very good. Yes, you are right. The top, this is called as plunger. Then remove the plunger. Take this. This is very important. We are using here 2.36 mm sieve. Take the material into 2.36 mm sieve. Then place this material on the sieve shaker. Tied the hooks. Then start the sieve shaker. After that, untie the hooks. Remove the sieves from the sieve shaker and take the material which is retained in the pan, which is passed through the 2.36 mm sieve. We are using that material, that is W3. Weight that material which is passed through the 2.36 mm sieve. It will give us W3. Take the observation number 3. Weight of aggregate passing through 2.36 mm sieve, W3 is equal to 990 grams. Make the observation table and go for the calculation. Aggregate crushing value in percentage is equal to the same formula, W3 divided by W2 minus W1. This is our second observation. Answers, please calculate the values. Just put the values into the formula, you will get the answer. Calculate fast. Only one person has given the answer. Remaining, please calculate fast. Only 2-3 persons has given the answer. Remaining 3-4. Everyone must try. Let it be wrong, let it be right. You should try first. Don't think about the results. Just give your 100% efforts. Whatever will be the results. All have given the answer as 37.35. Okay, we will check that answer. 37.35, 37.36 that they have given. That is right also. Okay, so our answer is right. 37.35 or 36. So the average crushing value, we will take the average of this, and the average will be equal to 37.975. That will be the average crushing, the average aggregate crushing value. Since the aggregate crushing value is above 35%, the aggregate would normally be regarded as a weak aggregate. Okay, because the percentage, if it is less than 30, 35, then we'll take it as strong aggregate. If it is greater than 35%, it is weak aggregate. Okay, so this is our experiment number 1. Now we will move forward for the next part that we have. Now we have seen the simulation. Then we now go for the post test. Okay, we have seen the pre-test. Means what? Before the starting uh, practical, we should know, and after the practical, what we have understood. They have given the 5 questions. We will solve now one by one. So question number 1 is, see here carefully. The W1 is the total weight of the sample, and W2 is the weight of sample passing 2.36 mmCu. W3 is the weight of sample retained on 2.36 mmCu. Then the aggregate crushing value is, please give the answer of this. Please read the question carefully. It is not the same formula. By that formula, you should know what we have to take. Okay. In that formula, we will take what we have taken, W3 divided by W2 minus W1. What is W3? The material which is passing through 2.36 mmCu. By doing W2 minus W1, we will get the material that we have used for this experiment. Okay. By applying that knowledge, you should derive the formula. Now, tell me the answer. What will be the answer? You can text there. What will be the formula? If W1 is the total weight of sample, W2 is the weight of sample of passing 2.36 mmCu, W3 weight of the sample retained on the 2.36 mmCu. Okay, 2-3 persons has given the answer. Remaining, please try. Let it be wrong. Let it be right. Just you have to try your 100%. Okay. Be always, whenever and whatever you are doing, just go for your 100% efforts. Don't think about the results. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 has given. All of have given answer as A. We'll see. I will take the answer as A. Now, the question number 2 is the load applied by the compression testing machine in the test is. Please read carefully the options given. The load applied by the compression testing machine in the test is 4 tons per minute, 52 tons per minute, 6 tons per minute, or 40 tons per minute. Okay. A, all of have given answer as A. Let us see if we like to take the answer as A. We'll see what is the correct answer. In the crushing test, I'll take next question. In the crushing test, the aggregate used is passing through dash dash mmCu and retained on dash dash mm. Everyone, please try the answer. So everyone has given answer as C. Okay, we'll see. Everyone has given answer as C. I'll take the option C. The aggregate with the crushing value below 30% is suitable for withstanding heavy load. Whether it is true or false, when the crushing value is less than 30%, it can withstand with the heavy load, or it cannot withstand with heavy load. Whether it is true or false. Okay. True. Everyone has given answer as A. That is true. Okay, we will go with the majority. A. True. Aggregate crushing value provides the relative measure of resistance to. It's a very important question. Aggregate crushing value provides the relative measure of the resistance to crushing under the gradual increasing load, crushing under the sudden load, crushing under the dynamic load, none of the above. Okay. 2-3% has given answer as A. Okay, we will see. I'll take the option as A. We will see our answers. Very good. 5 out of 5. All answers are correct. See here the most important questions. First one, second one. All questions are important. But see, in the first question, what we have to analyze, we have to just, it is not enough to remember the formula. Okay, by the question number 1, what we will see, we just, it is not enough to just mug up the formula. That is W, what we have seen the formula, W3 divided by W2 minus W1. Okay, that formula we have known. But here, what they have given, they have changed the nomenclature. They have given the W1 as the total weight, W2 as the weight passing through 2.3, W3 the weight retained on 2.36. Okay, so that we must know the actual meaning of that formula. Okay, what we have taken on numerator, W3. What is meant by W3? The weight which is passing through the 2.36 mm sieve. Okay, that we have taken in the last, at the last stage. What we have taken, the weight of the sample which is passing through 2.36 mm sieve. That we have taken as W3. And divided by what we have done, W2 minus W1. What is W2? The weight of cylinder plus aggregate. And W1 weight of cylinder. If you take the W2 minus W1 means what? We'll get the only weight of the material, weight of the sample that we have taken for the experiment. Okay, that the basic things, for what the formula indicates, that also we must know. Okay, so that the first question is regarding that. In the second question, what we where we made the mistake, where we might go for a mistake, that 4 tons or 40 tons. Okay, because we know the two figures, 4 ton and 40 ton. Okay, but 4 tons per minute, that is our gradual increasing load. Okay, but we are going for gradual increasing load of 4 tons per minute. And we will go up to the load of 40 tons. Okay. Then in the third stage, that what we have, they have asked what the sieves that we are used. Okay, 12.5 mm and 10 mm. And in the last one is very important because here they have asked by the aggregate crushing value, what we are going to find. We find the aggregate crushing value with the gradual increasing load. Okay, here we are increasing the load gradually. It is very important word, gradually increasing the load and we are finding the crushing value. So this is our post-test test. Next step, what is your references? If you want, they have given some references to study. Yeah, they have also given the one YouTube link. Let's see what they have given.
I want to imagine there are two strong magnets, one attached here, another is here. I'm gonna take my hands away. Slowly as I'm talking.
Welcome to Lagupata from Solve, the virtual lab. The objective of this simulation is to assess the strength of coarse aggregates used in the pavement components under gradually applied load and to determine the aggregate's.
Okay, what they have done here, they have explained the procedure to find out the crushing value of the aggregate. Okay, that we have seen now only. They have explained the procedure, how to find the crushing value. Okay, here.
स्वागत है आपका स्मार्ट सिटी गाइड में। आज के वीडियो में बात
This is highway related video. Let us see what they have given. Seems to be important one.
करेंगे नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 44 के अंतर्गत बनाए गए भारत का पहला और विश्व का सबसे लंबा एनिमल अंडरपास के बारे में, जो कि एक इंजीनियरिंग मार्वल है और नेशनल हाईवेज अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया द्वारा क्रियान्वित किए जाने वाला एक सराहनीय और अद्भुत परियोजना है, जो कि पूरी तरह से बनकर तैयार हो चुका है और यह ऑपरेशनल भी हो चुका है। इसका निर्माण पेंच टाइगर रिजर्व फॉरेस्ट में किया गया है, जो कि मध्य प्रदेश और महाराष्ट्र की सीमा पर स्थित है और पेंच नेशनल पार्क की नागपुर शहर से दूरी मात्र 50 किलोमीटर है। जैसा कि आप गूगल मैप में देख सकते हैं, नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 44, जिसको कि पहले नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 7 के नाम से जाना जाता था, पेंच नेशनल पार्क के बीचों बीच से होकर गुजरता है। अतः वन्य जीवों के बाधा रहित आवागमन हेतु खासकर टाइगर्स और दूसरे वन्य जीवों को हाईवे क्रॉस करने में आसानी हो, इसके लिए इसका निर्माण किया गया है। आपको बता दें कि नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 44 हमारे देश का सबसे लंबा नेशनल हाईवे है, जो कि श्रीनगर से शुरू होकर जम्मू, जालंधर, दिल्ली, आगरा, ग्वालियर, सागर, नागपुर, हैदराबाद, कर्नूल, बेंगलुरु, सेलम होते हुए तमिलनाडु के कन्याकुमारी में जाकर समाप्त होती है और इसकी कुल लंबाई लगभग 3745 किलोमीटर है। नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 44 को नॉर्थ साउथ कॉरिडोर के नाम से भी जाना जाता है और यह हमारे देश का वन ऑफ द बिजिएस्ट हाईवे है। यह हाईवे परियोजना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट और पर्यावरण के बीच समन्वय का एक शानदार उदाहरण है और यह मानव जाति और वन्य जीव दोनों के लिए एक विन विन सिचुएशन है। वर्ष 2010 में नेशनल हाईवे डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट फेज 2 के अंतर्गत नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 44 के लगभग 117 किलोमीटर लंबे खंड को 4 लेन में कन्वर्ट करने की घोषणा की गई और इस 117 किलोमीटर लंबे खंड में से 37.45 किलोमीटर लंबा खंड पेंच टाइगर रिजर्व से होकर गुजरता है। पेंच टाइगर रिजर्व से होकर गुजरने वाले 37.45 किलोमीटर लंबे खंड का निर्माण कार्य 10 नवंबर 2015 में शुरू किया गया और इस मिटिगेशन स्ट्रक्चर्स के अंतर्गत 9 जगहों पर वायाडक्ट का निर्माण किया गया। उन स्थानों की पहचान की गई जिन स्थानों पर वन्य जीवों का मूवमेंट सबसे ज्यादा होता था। पेंच टाइगर रिजर्व के अंतर्गत बनाए गए सभी वायाडक्ट की सतह से ऊंचाई लगभग 5 मीटर है, अतः बड़े जानवर भी आसानी से हाईवे को क्रॉस कर सकते हैं। इन सभी 9 मिटिगेशन स्ट्रक्चर्स में सबसे छोटे वायाडक्ट की लंबाई लगभग 50 मीटर है और सबसे लंबे वायडक्ट की लंबाई लगभग 750 मीटर है और इस परियोजना के अंतर्गत 750 मीटर लंबाई के 2 वायडक्ट्स का निर्माण किया गया है। इन दोनों वायडक्ट्स में 30 मीटर लंबाई के 25 स्पैन का निर्माण किया गया है। इस वीडियो के बनाए जाने तक यह 750 मीटर लंबा अंडरपास विश्व का सबसे लंबा एनिमल अंडरपास है, जिसके निर्माण का उद्देश्य केवल और केवल वन्य जीवों के बाधा रहित आवागमन हेतु है। इस परियोजना के अंतर्गत बनाए गए सभी 9 एनिमल अंडरपासेस को मिलाकर इसकी कुल लंबाई लगभग 2200 मीटर हो जाती है। इन सभी के निर्माण में लगभग 260 करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए गए हैं और 19 मार्च 2019 को यह परियोजना पूरी तरह से बनकर तैयार हो गया और सबसे सबसे रोचक बात, वाइल्ड लाइफ के मूवमेंट को मॉनिटर करने के लिए सभी स्थानों पर सीसीटीवी कैमरे को भी इंस्टॉल किया गया है। इसके साथ ही मोशन डिटेक्टर सेंसर्स को भी लगाया गया है ताकि किसी प्रकार की छोटी सी हरकत होने पर कैमरा एक्टिव हो जाए और उसकी फोटो ली जा सके। रात्रि के दौरान भी जानवरों के आवाजाही की बेहतर तस्वीरें खींची जा सके, इसके लिए नाइट विजन कैमरे को भी इंस्टॉल किया गया है। और कैमरे से ली गई चित्रों के अनुसार पहले 10 महीनों के अंदर अर्थात 2019 में 5000 से भी ज्यादा वन्य जीवों ने इस वाइल्ड लाइफ एनिमल अंडरपासेस का इस्तेमाल किया है, जिनमें से टाइगर्स की संख्या 133 थी। इतना ही नहीं, 2020 में इस अंडरपासेस को इस्तेमाल करने वाले सभी वन्य जीवों की संख्या बढ़कर 16,000 के ऊपर जा पहुंची है, जो कि ओवरऑल 193% की बढ़ोतरी है। सीसीटीवी कैमरे को इंस्टॉल करने से यह मिटिगेशन स्ट्रक्चर्स कितना प्रभावशाली साबित होगा, इसको भी स्टडी करने में सहायता मिलेगी। सीसीटीवी कैमरे का इंस्टॉलेशन वाइल्ड लाइफ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडिया द्वारा किया गया है। सभी मिटिगेशन स्ट्रक्चर्स के अंतर्गत 50 मीटर लंबाई से 250 मीटर लंबाई तक के गाइडेड वॉल्स का निर्माण किया गया है, जिसकी सहायता से वन्य जीवों को अंडरपास से गुजरने में आसानी होगी। हाईवे के दोनों किनारों पर नॉइज बैरियर को भी इंस्टॉल किया गया है ताकि वाहनों की ध्वनि से जानवरों को परेशानी ना हो। आपको बता दें कि वर्तमान में इसी नेशनल हाईवे नंबर 44 पर 1.4 किलोमीटर लंबा एनिमल अंडरपास का निर्माण किया जा रहा है, जिसका निर्माण मध्य प्रदेश राज्य में किया जा रहा है और इसके निर्माण में लगभग 140 करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए जा रहे हैं। और निर्माण कार्य पूरा होने के बाद यह अंडरपास विश्व का सबसे लंबा एनिमल अंडरपास बन जाएगा। इसके अलावा दिल्ली मुंबई एक्सप्रेसवे के अंतर्गत भी राजस्थान में एनिमल अंडरपासेस का निर्माण किया जाएगा। तो आज की वीडियो में इतना।
Okay, that seems to be the it's very important as highway, so I have taken that. So we have completed our first practical. What we have to do only, go to Google, just Google it, the virtual lab. Then in that, select the branch as civil. You will get the practicals of all the subjects. Then you have to click on the transportation engineering. Here they have named as transportation engineering. Like our highway practicals are there. List of experiments. Then you will get this for practice. Okay. So we have completed now our practical number 1. The next practical we will start in next lecture. Place your attendance in the chat box. Put your attendance in the chat box. Everyone, please put your attendance to the chat box. Draw this figure, everyone. This is the figure of cylinder plus plunger. What the size of plunger, or sorry, what the size of cylinder that we are using. Draw this figure. Aggregate crushing load figure. It is taken from IS 2386 part 4 1963. Also take down this table if anyone has not written this table. Write down this table, it is very important. If you have not written this table, take down this table. It is very important table. This table is also taken from IS 2386 part 4 1963. If you have taken, then you can left the lecture. You can leave the lecture if you have taken this table. We'll see the next practical in next practical slot. Okay, by this we have completed our first practical number 1. That is crushing value test on the aggregate. If you have completed, then you can left